I'm extremely passionate about helping people take advantage of the opportunity of sales as a career path and as a skill set, especially in tech sales, because I know the level of freedom and impact it can open up in our lives. I recently gave a speech in Toastmasters, which is an internationally recognized public speaking group that I encourage you to check out. You probably have a local chapter that you can join wherever you're at. And in that talk, I talked about 3 ways that a career in sales and developing a sales skill set can force multiply opportunities in our lives. I had my mentor, Tom Singer, film the video so I could share it here on YouTube. Keep in mind, he started a little bit late. So to set the stage, I start out telling a story coming back from college my junior year and spending time with my mom at dinner, and we get into an unexpectedly awkward conversation, and you'll be able to see the rest yourself. If you guys enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button, share it with people who could benefit from the message, and of course subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for consistent encouragement and insight into how you can start a career in sales, particularly tech sales, and create a lot of freedom and impact and have a lot of fun along the way. All right, here's my speech.
Funny, but we would have a ritual of getting together, so you think, and catching up and sharing our hearts. And, you know, my mom and I have a really close relationship, so that's just something we would do. We had a couple glasses of wine at a beautiful dinner on the water in Naples, Florida. The breeze was amazing. It was just such a beautiful night, so perfect. And on the drive home, we ended up, stopping in the driveway and talking a little more. And suddenly, my mom hit me with a question out of left field that caught me completely off guard. She said, "Honey, you're still saving yourself for marriage, right?" I was raised as a conservative Christian guy, and my mom had always told me, "Chris, save yourself for marriage. It's a beautiful thing." You guys might be familiar. That's a common teaching in Christianity and maybe other religions as well. But the reality is, I knew that I hadn't. But my automatic response was, "Yeah, Mom, of course." But then after a second pause, a voice went off in my head. It's like, "Chris, you can't lie to your mom." She always called me Honest Abe. I just couldn't help it. I'm not good at lying. So my next response was this: "Mom, I need to tell you something, but you're going to hate me. You're absolutely going to hate me when I tell you it." And she said, "Honey, I could never hate you. You can tell me anything." And so I told her, I actually haven't saved myself for marriage. And in that moment, in being vulnerable and telling the truth, my mom actually opened up and shared something that was really a proverbial skeleton in her closet that she had never told me. And that ended up being a turning point in our relationship. Or maybe turning point isn't the right word, but it was a point in which we connected at an even deeper level. What I didn't realize at the time is that response where I said, "Mom, you're going to hate me. You're absolutely going to hate me," was what top hostage negotiator Chris Voss calls an accusation audit. It's when you paint yourself in such a negative light and make yourself out to be worse than you really are, and then suddenly you trigger an empathy response from your audience, and they tell you, "Hey, you're not as bad as you think." The reality is, we were born to sell, and I was selling since the day that I was born. And naturally, you're probably not surprised, I got into a career in sales, particularly tech sales, and it has been the richest career path in every sense of the word. Today, I want to goad you to consider sales as your next career path, or a step along your career journey, or to at least invest in developing sales skills. I'm going to share 3 ways that I think developing sales skills force multiplies opportunities in your life. Number 1, we're going to talk about how developing sales skills increases your ability to make an impact in the areas that matter most in your life. Number 2, we're going to talk about how sales skills improves your ability to create freedom and flexibility in your life. And number 3, we're going to talk about how sales helps you actualize your personal potential. So first, let's talk about amplifying impact. Sales, going down that career path, improves our ability to influence, and that's really a skill set. And there's different aspects of influencing people. And influence really isn't about being manipulative, but really empathizing with others and understanding opportunities in their world. What are they looking to achieve in life, and helping them get what they want out of life, and as a consequence, getting what you want to. There's a famous quote by Zig Ziglar that talks about that. If you want to get everything you want in life, help more people get what they want out of life. So when you combine, making up words, when you combine the ability to influence others in a positive way to make meaningful progress and achieve their goals with a strategic network, which is something that you develop in sales, you accelerate your ability to get things done. And as my dad says, make things happen. You can make things happen that wouldn't otherwise. And just to double click a little more into the skills of influence, what's amazing is I've realized after 9 years, I've spent 9 years writing emails, laboring over how to creatively pique someone's curiosity and get their attention. Might be on LinkedIn as well. I've spent years developing the ability to pick up a phone and to diffuse the immediate red flags and defenses that go off in the brain of the stranger to open up and have a dialogue. And so that's just such a powerful skill, to be able to connect with someone in a first meeting or call and connect on an emotional level. And again, just simply to open up a conversation and explore together on the same side of the table. You know, sales teaches you how to communicate in an impactful way, in an influential way, by framing opportunities in the other person's world. And we already talked about that, but also inspiring action through storytelling, which is the gateway to hearts and minds. Even fMRI studies show that when we tell stories, our brains sync up. It's like incredible. And so that really is the gateway to influence. And as I said, if you combine these skill sets in communication and connecting with an actual strategic network, you can get almost anything done. I've got a mentor, he's an incredible guy, you might know him. His name's Tom Singer. And he told me once that all opportunities are tied to people. And that is so true. And just to put perspective, even the best ideas, the most beautiful works of art, the best written books need to be sold. It's not a best writing author, it's a best-selling author. Like, what a disservice to the world if you write the most incredible book that could really make a difference in people's lives, but no one opens the front cover. That's where sales comes into play. And it's interesting because my mom is a professional portrait painter. She is so talented. My dad is a true seller. And my dad has gotten my mom $10,000 portrait commissions because of his ability to frame opportunities in people's world, to show them the value of having a fine art portrait, and because of his network. My dad has developed a network with millionaires and billionaires, believe it or not. And so he's connected with the right people who can actually afford a $10,000 painting. And thanks to my dad, our family has had experiences that a family of moderate means wouldn't have otherwise. It's simply through networking. So the second way that sales skills improves our life is by, it just amplifies our life in general, is by increasing our sense of freedom. And long story short, you make a lot of money in sales. The harder you work, the more money that you can make. And you can also make more than doctors, lawyers, and other professionals working 20 hours a week. When I was at Google Cloud, I had a mentor who was the #1 performer in the organization that worked 20 hours a week, and he's making like $400,000. And that doesn't include his equity reserve stock units at Google. So, I mean, everyone knew he was working 20 hours, but he got the results, and that's the beauty of sales. So it's one of the fastest paths to financial freedom, and that money is just a tool to create more experiences and more impact that you want in your life. The third way that sales improves our life is by helping us actualize our potential. You know, a seed inherently has the potential to bloom into a beautiful flower. It just needs exposure to the right conditions like soil, water, and sunlight. And human beings were no different. Right? Our soil, our water, and our sunlight are the mindset and the habits of high performance. And sales is, and a career path in sales is simply a vehicle and a pathway in which we can apply the mindset and the habits of high performance in action as professional doers. You can pick up a phone and face your fear. You can show courage. You can brush up on the edge of who you know yourself to be, uncover blind spots, limiting beliefs that were holding you back, and conquer those on the battlefield of sales. So at the end of the day, I am so grateful for my experience in sales, particularly tech sales. That's a lucrative and dynamic space. And I want to encourage more people to consider developing sales skills to make more of an impact in their life, because you guys matter. We all matter, and we're here to make a difference, and sales can force multiply that impact. Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoyed this speech and it motivated you to develop your sales skills and grow your sales career to force multiply opportunities in your life. Make sure to like this video and share it with people who could benefit from the message. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for weekly videos committed to your success in tech sales and in life. And subscribe to my Sell More, Live More newsletter linked in the description of this video if you want consistent encouragement on how to increase your earnings and impact in sales and in life. And just by subscribing to the newsletter, you'll get some resources like cold calling scripts, an SDR interview checklist, and a 90-day SDR success plan. To your success in tech sales and in life, happy selling and happy living, and we'll see you in the next one.